50 years in reggae music. Special guest Everton Blender. Celebrate His Majesty's coronation with dancers, drummers, and the Roots Reggae Revival Showcase featuring Dario Storm, Don Minus, Simone G, Gary Nestor Pine, Tasha T, Turban X, and more. That's the 10th annual Reggae Culture Salute, Saturday, November 1st, 7 p.m. at Nazareth Regional High School, 475 East 57th Street in Brooklyn. Brought to you in part by Dennis Shipping, BP Records, and Transcontinental Shippers. Call 718-421-6927. That's 718-421-6927. Don't miss it. It's electric.
Greetings, and welcome to another exciting episode of Caribbean Classroom. Tonight is a special night. I have a program lined up here for you that is going to knock your socks off. I'm encouraging you to call somebody right now. Call somebody, ask them to tune in. Send them a text because we're streaming as well. It's a lot of good information, and it's a serious kind of a program. I normally don't like doing serious programs like this, but it's important. It's dealing with health. However, before I get to the health thing, I got a few announcements for you. Coming up, starting with the first one that you just saw, I had to give some praise to and high five to Ms. Sharon Gordon for her cultural salute coming up on Saturday, November 1st. Also, we have the annual, it's coming out to be an annual parasol, the author's parasol from book authors and readers and writers. The St. John's Educator Scholarship Fund presents the Caribbean Parasol Literary Affair. That's coming on November 30th. 3 o'clock in Brooklyn, 1099 Ocean Avenue. You can call 718-451-0650. That's Ms. Carnice Modeste. Last year we did from Calabash to computers. This year they're going with, say it's a literary affair, just Caribbean Parasol. It used to be Grenadian Parasol, but they changed it to now the Caribbean Parasol. So that's what we're running with. The other thing that I want to make you aware of, we have a new senator in Queens. Senator Leroy Comrie. He just, in the primaries that took place the other day, and I mean, he's not really the senator yet, so let's not jump ahead of the thing. They still have an election thing, but it's just formality. Once you win the primary, you automatically is the shoo-in. So Leroy is now, will be the new state senator from Southeast Queens and taking care of business on that regard. I have to big up my nieces. I have several nieces, but one out of these 5 women you're looking at right now, the one in the blue, that's my youngest niece with my oldest sister. And my oldest sister is standing there so smiling and so proud of her 4 girls. They all are now graduates from college, all have degrees. I mean, I kind of set the tone. I was the first one in the family with a college degree, and they have been on my tail ever since and following in my footsteps, I had to say that. And so Althea is her name, and she recently graduated from some school up in somewhere, I don't know the place, up in Pennsylvania, you know. You see? You know what? You see that? All the women applauding. You see, that's the thing about that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to start off the show. I have a little piece that Michael and Gail put together. Roll the tape.
We're here at Yole Salon in Queens Village, New York, with Caribbean Classroom. Let's ask the ladies in the salon about the state of their health. How often do you go to the doctor?
I go to the doctor once a year.
Have you always been diligent in going to the doctor?
I haven't always been diligent.
If women are lax and not really consistent in seeing the doctor regularly, I believe this is true, partly true. Women have a tendency to lay back, and especially when you're dealing with certain population, the Caribbean American woman, the Haitian American woman, especially where we are, where there are lots of Haitian women coming here to do their hair, just like I'm doing my hair. They tend to lay back a little bit, except when they have something really important, something that's really bothering them. That's when most of them think of going to the doctor quickly. And this is probably due to their culture. And back home, the women do not have that discipline, do not have that habit into getting their checkup, their annual checkup on a regular basis.
It's good to go to the doctor to be healthy.
Health is also development. It helps you develop your family. It helps you take care of your neighborhood, of your town, even of your country. You got to be productive. And to be productive, you got to be healthy.
I would say to the women who don't go to the doctor regularly, it is time that you get up and take care of yourself. We women have a tendency to take care of everybody else. And we are always the last person to take care of ourselves. So we have to be very diligent about that, because there are so many health issues out there relating to us women. I've seen too many tragedies, and it is saddening that we don't take care of ourselves the way that we really should. We have to set aside time to take care of ourselves.
Health comes in many forms. Health comes through our senses, our smell, our sight, our touch, our taste, our hearing. Good health also comes through movement, through our emotions, and how we perceive and adorn ourselves. Think about how good it feels to see a sunrise in the Caribbean, preferably, or feel the touch of a loved one. Our senses play a very important role in achieving our well-being. With this in mind, and to better address and meet these needs, the Live Healthy Me workshops were created. Now, the Living Healthy Me, or Live Healthy Me, were created by Dr. Carol McIntosh, an obstetrician and gynecologist doctor, as well as a young lady I found out who was part of the team who helped President Obama create his now famous health initiative. I'll use that word. You know, health care and all of that good stuff. I know a lot of you don't like Obama, but you know, we're going to tell you, that's who you have. That's whether you like him or not. You're stuck with him until somebody else take over. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caribbean Classroom, Dr. McIntosh.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And welcome back.
Thank you so much.
I want to call you doctor. I still want to call you doctor. But anyway, welcome to the Caribbean Classroom again. And Living Healthy Me, or Living Me and Healthy and all of that good stuff. Talk to me about this thing now that you guys have created, if you please.
Okay. So
Why are you getting those looks?
I am just so glad to see you.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. Deborah will be here later also.
all right. So Live Healthy Me.
Live Healthy Me.
Yes.
And you talk about adorning yourself, which is something that most, and you know, I comment on this show a lot about women, how much hours they spend in the beauty shop, and how much care they take in the nails and the, you know, perfume, and you know, the right bra, the right
all those
apparel,
things.
all of those things. You guys have taken that to another level and say, you have to do that. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take time and walk in the park and look at the chickens play and swim in the pond and so forth.
Exactly.
Well, before I even get to the whole issue of the components of Live Healthy Me, let's say, for example, just to follow up on what you were just saying, let's say, for example, you're really feeling down, you woke up, it's whatever is bothering you, you know, it's disturbing you. But as a woman, if you begin to brighten up yourself, you take care of your hair, you choose deliberately what it is you're going to wear, you choose deliberately the accents or jewelry that you're going to have, so that when you step out, you feel good because you look good. It helps to brighten. It doesn't solve the problem.
Okay.
Very clear about that.
Okay.
But it helps to brighten your day.
Okay.
And so that is an important part of who we are. Yes.
Right.
And so Living Healthy Me is designed to help the female and the male
Right.
lift the spirit, so to speak.
So it's doing several things. So basically there are three key components for Live Healthy Me, three key columns, if you will, that we stand on. And they are imagery, adornment, and empowerment.
Imagery,
Adornment.
how you look,
Well, I'm going to explain the imagery part.
It's a little bit different.
So imagery is not quite how you look.
Okay.
So when you see, you mentioned before about the sunset, seeing a beautiful sunrise or sunset, or whatever image, there are images out there, and usually a lot of images that are out there, particularly landscapes or nature pictures and so on that you see, enhances the spirit.
Yes.
So the images that we see enhance us. It releases endorphins. It just makes us feel good all over. You know, when you see something
nice
really gorgeous,
yes,
that really sweet feeling
it's like
you
a
feel.
nice piece of Barris Hammond.
You see what I mean?
Right.
You see it?
Or a nice, the nice visual, the visual.
Yeah.
So imagery has to do with what you're looking at
So we
visually.
need to go on vacation more often.
Right.
Yes.
Is that
Or
what
not
I'm
even
saying?
well,
No, not
vacation or what's
necessarily.
around you.
Because wake up,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So just wake up in the morning. We don't stop. We get up, you go, you're going to go to the subway, you're going to get to work and do all those different things. But as you're walking to where you're going or driving to where you're going, there's a lot of times, because I drive between here and Maryland, as I'm looking out, you've seen the sunset or you've seen the sunrise, and then just seeing the brightness of the colors. That is something where you stop to take a look at what's around you.
Look at nature.
Look
Yes.
at nature.
And the image, if you're on the Q train, the B train, the image that you see when you're crossing
Well,
that
the
bridge.
homeless guy in the chair, you know.
No, the image you see when
That
you're
was not-
crossing
that
the
was not-
bridge. As you're crossing the bridge, the water that's there. So that's what we talk about when we address imagery.
Okay.
Right? So
Tell folk that you are available to come to your church, to come to your organization, to come to your event, to present this workshop.
Right, so basically, and we'll get back to the components, but yes, we do workshops, and the workshops, I'm Wonderfully Made is the name of the workshop.
I'm Wonderfully Made.
I
Yes.
am wonderfully made.
Yes.
Wait a second, are you trying to compete with Ian Lavanzat by any chance? No?
Who?
Ian Lavanzat? Oh,
No, we're not competing
No, we're
with
not
her.
competing.
We're happy
No.
for her and what it is that she does.
No. This is all about the whole thing with Live Healthy Me, where we talk about the images outside, but also within. So you want to be healthy within. You also, because once you start to empower yourself, we're saying, I'm wonderfully made. You are a temple. So the beauty of you from inside as well as outside is what we're talking about.
Yes.
You want to enhance that, because as you're doing that and you feel and you look good, you feel good, oh my gosh, then that's just successful. You're just going up. You can't go down. You can't go down no matter what is presented before you.
Feeling good and being healthy, because you're working at it, and that's what we do in the workshops. We help people and give them action steps to become healthier each and every day.
Empowerment.
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 Exactly.
Owning yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? With all the frailties. I mean, you might have bulges here and there, but that's who you
Life
are.
is good. Life is
Right.
good.
Life is good.
Making
Right.
sure that we take a look at what it is that's going on with you, knowing your body. Do you off the top know what your average blood pressure is? Do you know off the top what your cholesterol level is? Things of that nature. I mean,
Right.
I'm
But
generalizing.
those numbers might depress some people.
But,
They
but
might.
It might. But here's the thing. When you begin working at your health, it's good to know the baseline. And even though the baseline may shock you, but as you begin to work at it, as you begin to make improvements, you want to revisit the baseline, because where you are now is going to be much better than where you were before.
But it's as if you're consciously working on it and
that's the
aware.
point of the
Right.
workshops.
And
That's
We're
to help you
encouraging
start
people
to
do
work
that.
on that.
So-
But also even taking it a little bit further than knowing your blood pressure, know yourself. I mean, I'm becoming very specific to women. We know ourselves. When you talk about having your periods, when you talk about all the different cycling through the month or whatever, you know what's going on with you. And the beauty of the body is that it's such a well-made machine, it's such a well-made temple that every day does the same thing. The same thing for you. Very different from what would go on for yourself. But when you know that this is the same thing and something is not quite right, something is not, it's not going the way it should be, that's when you stop and you say, I need to check this. So there's a lot of things in the sense of knowing your blood pressure, but also knowing yourself to know when I need to go in, also when I need to go in to prevent something from happening.
Well, you gave me some points here. You said when you go to the doctor, know what kind of questions to ask.
Exactly.
Knowing, bring your medication back with you.
Right.
Write down the things that are bothering you.
Right.
More than what the immediate pain is that you felt last night.
Exactly.
Because
you want to, and I remember it's great with the Affordable Health Care Act. There's all the different things, but remember, you're going into the physician. The physician or the healthcare provider that you're going into, they're a team. You have to remember that they're helping you. You have to be your own advocate because they're helping you, they're helping the next person, and the person that's after you. So they have a whole group of people. They cannot say that they're going to focus directly on you and help you get to the point. I always tell patients, I'm not telling you what's wrong. You're telling me what's wrong. All I'm doing is giving you what we actually call it. But you are telling me what's wrong.
You're giving it a name.
I'm giving it a name.
A scientific name.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly. So how can you start with that? Is by giving as much information as possible. And you want to be able to say, these are my medications. And medications include not just what you're taking, but also the herbal medication. Also that bush that, you know.
That time I told you.
Or the scent of.
You jump up and kiss me. No, that's a bush. Are you going to stop for? Well, you can stop. We have sugar dish. Jump up and kiss me. Man, better man.
Oh my.
A man, better man.
That's a bush.
How exciting.
Good for gripe and pain and yes.
Well.
And there it is. And so we need to know these things.
We need to know about those. So you bring that with you.
Right.
And then you bring down what is it that you want to focus on, because we're going to start to ask you general questions, but we also have a limited amount of time. So let me get to the point of what it is that I want you to talk about. The most important thing for me right now, what's bothering me, let me get to that point. And also to let the doctor realize that, this person is concerned about themselves, so I will take more of a concern with you. That's where you start to say, we're working as a team. I'm working with you.
The educated consumer is your best customer.
Exactly.
You are watching Caribbean Classroom. Tonight we're talking to Dr. Carol McIntosh. I mean, OBGYN, you know, all of that medical stuff she is. And also Miss Yvonne Rubie, who is a medical professional or health professional?
Public health.
Public health professional.
Educator as
well. And women of knowledge and power. And tell you, these women are powerful people. You don't want to mess with them. I tell you. So allergies, medications. I have a back pain, and last week I didn't have it. And all of a sudden, and many a times, and I always use my wife as an example, she went to an eye doctor a couple months ago, and she just knew she wanted glasses. And the doctor said to her, no, you don't need no glasses. What you need is sleep, rest. And so she came back and said, well, how does the doctor could tell me I need sleep and rest? I said, well, Deborah, you doesn't sleep. You're up, and you're up early, you're up late, you know, you get 2 hours sleep sometimes, you know, so you need sleep. And so basically is what we're talking about here. But let's go along the pillars again. Let's go on, we got 2. The imagery.
Right, the imagery.
And what's the other?
And then we spoke earlier about adornment. How you dress yourself. And so we do...
that's where the makeup comes in?
Well, makeup, how you style your hair, all of that.
Yeah,
but what we specifically
like Dr. McIntosh now with the red hair.
Yes, and her... It's
and a little extra, right,
yes.
the highlights,
Yes.
right, exactly.
Were you thinking about the show when you did that? No, you didn't. No, don't even don't try to
I was thinking about the joy of the winter and the colors and the person that did my hair.
Fall. Yes.
Yes.
They are the fall colors.
Yes.
Oh, look at the smile with it too. Oh, John Crow. I tell you, I'm in heaven right now. Okay, go ahead.
All righty then. I'm so happy for you.
Hey, Yvonne. Anyhow.
And so you know, all of those things are part of adorning yourself. But what we specifically hone in on is jewelry, and specifically handmade jewelry from the Maasai women in Kenya. Right. And so
beads.
Yes, the beaded jewelry. So these, for example, are beaded jewelry.
Can we get a close-up?
And these are individually made by the women.
By hand?
Yes, by hand.
And now, are these women making these beads for the purpose of adornment and uplifting and all of that?
They adorn themselves totally. The men and women adorn themselves.
No, is the Maasai the ones that jump high?
Yes. Yes.
Usain Bolt was there the other day. And they crowned him and named him and told him he's a Maasai and gave him the Maasai name, and he went out doing the jump thing too.
Excellent.
Yes.
So they do handmade jewelry. They do bracelets, they do necklaces
earrings,
and so on, and earrings.
The only group I know other than them that does that, that I know of, is the closer women in South Africa. Yes.
And so they're close together. The countries are not far apart. And so they're somewhat similar in what we do. So we import them directly. and they, whatever the payments are, that goes.
So when you go to
to
the workshop, right? You walk with these beads, bracelets, etc., necklaces, etc., and you present the workshop, and you'll say, "Listen, I mean, it's not the shyster stuff that the pastor and them tell you, well, take this bottle of water with you when you're going home, or bring the handkerchief and let us." Is that nothing like that, right?
Let me say this: that they're two separate things going on.
I'm just making sure.
Right. So imagery, for example, we have photographs that were taken in Kenya and photographs that were taken in Jamaica and different parts of the world.
Right.
And so those images are available as well.
Okay.
And they're available via greeting cards as well.
Okay.
And then, of course, the jewelry is available. But we are not showcasing those things when we do workshop. When we come in to do workshop, we're there to do workshop.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's two different
It's
things.
the three things: imagery, adornment, and empowerment. So each one of them stands alone.
Exactly.
And each one of them are towards Live Healthy Me.
Exactly.
But when we're focusing on a particular one, this
That's
is what
what
we're
we're doing.
focusing on.
Exactly.
So imagery and adornment, that's one. That's the products. There's a variety of different things. Empowerment is now when we're telling you, empower yourself.
And exchanging.
Gain knowledge. Start to look at what's going on with you. Recognize, not only empower yourself in the sense of going to the physician, but empower yourself even if there is an illness that befalls you, that you are ill, that you can stop to say, well, how do I manage this?
That's right.
Not allowing the illness to overtake you, but you start to say, no, okay,
Stop
I have this. I'm going to
power
stop.
of the mind.
The power of mind.
And
The
so
power
what
of the health.
What she mentioned just now is a workshop called Handling the Threat of Illness. And so oftentimes we come across situations where it seems out of the blue, out of nowhere, we're diagnosed with a particular disease, and it really throws us off. And so what we do in that particular workshop is to help people through that process.
Right.
What would you do? How do you prepare? How do you handle that particular situation, including the medical system, so that people, again, can feel empowered as they're going through?
Handling the threat of the illness. Handling the threat of the illness. So now, but you know that you're not well. And that's why you're going to the doctor. So you're going, and well, doctor, coming to you so you could cure me,
True, but there's two different things, because I remember, and I'll step back as well, it's handling the threat of illness, it's also the cancers, and that relates back to one of the things with the Globathon, where we talked about cancers below the belt for women.
For women.
And I remember I went to where they had a showing about that, and a woman came, was talking about the Globathon, talking about a film, and a woman came, and the questions were supposed to be in general, but her question was very specific to uterine cancer. And you're listening to it, and the persons that were, it's a panel of G1 oncologists or G1 cancer doctors that specifically deal with female cancers. They said to her, those questions are so personal, you need to talk to your doctor one-on-one. We really can't answer that in this setting.
Right.
But something made me say, let me go and talk to this woman after the workshop. So I went up to her and said, I'm just going to give you my card. You can email me if there's any questions, and I may be able to help direct you. And she stopped and said, I didn't say this, but I found out I have uterine cancer, cancer of the uterus. I'm going to the doctor on Friday. Now, this was on Wednesday. I'm going to the doctor on Friday, and I didn't tell my family, and I'm scared. So you see, it's not a threat. This is clear.
Right.
You have uterine cancer. How do I manage that? And the thing is, and she's like asking, should I ask the doctor this? I said, you know what? How do you manage this? Tonight you go and tell a family member, the one that you're closest with, and have them come with you to go to that visit. Because you already have the fear. So you need someone as your advocate to hear what the doctor's saying. Also, as you're listening, you're going to hear uterine cancer. You're not hearing anything else. The fear of that is already a lot. And hopefully, the person that's listening would be able to help the doctor, help to alleviate your fear. But right now, you need a person to go with you, to help give you strength, to help walk with you in that. So when we say the threat of illness or the actual illness itself, we help you to develop steps. I'm not telling you how to figure out how do you treat that, how you're going to have the surgery, but how do you manage with the people that are around you, the tools that are there, how do you start to maneuver that to help you be successful in your treatment?
I have never been out of words. Never. Sharon, hush. You have a word. You have a phrase that you send in your email. Push, persist,
praise. Push, press, persist, and praise.
You can
Push until you get there.
only you could change you, something to that effect.
You can only change yourself, but sometimes that's all it needs to change everything else.
So you change yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I told you tonight going to be heavy. I'm told you that. So I know there's nobody calling, but tonight going to be heavy. Dr. McIntosh, now as an OBGYN, you see everything and everybody. That lady, as an example, I can't let you walk in here and walk out of here and without you talking to us about specifically now, and this is me specifically, about Ebola and those kinds of diseases when they come out, and how do, and well, we don't know Ebola yet. It's something that's coming in onto us right now, but we know cancer. Right. And how do you prepare yourself? How do you prepare your family and the loved ones around you for those kinds of things when they befall you?
Well, the Ebola virus, and I will back up in saying the Ebola virus is a hemorrhagic virus, causes hemorrhagic fever. It's been around since the 1970s, different types of viruses, basically back in West Africa. There was the Lassa, there's Ebola, but if you know a virus can change, it can mutate and change into different varieties of the viruses. So this Ebola is a new variant of the hemorrhagic viruses. Okay, the hemorrhagic virus, the viruses that cause hemorrhagic fever. When we say hemorrhage, that's bleeding. So you can bleed from various areas.
And you're bleeding internally?
Internally.
And you don't necessarily know that you're bleeding internally?
You would know because of the fact that you may have the vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, etc.
Okay.
Now, how do we prepare ourselves? It is in West Africa. That's one. It is something, as we can see, that there are times that it's come this way. How we prepare ourselves is simply to be diligent in general, to be conscious of the fact of if I'm around someone that has recently traveled to Africa and who appears ill, and then I would be conscious of what's going on with this person. If I have traveled to West Africa and I've come back, I would be conscious of, am I ill? What are the different symptoms and going into the physician? But for due diligence here, is to educate yourself and be aware of it. It is not something that as you're walking down the street, oh my gosh, that person looks like they're from Africa or they might have Ebola. No.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No.
No.
Did that hit a chord for you? It hit a chord for you?
I'm not laughing.
You're not laughing?
Yes, I'm laughing, but no, because that is how some of us do.
Yes.
Thank you.
There was, remember when the biggest demonstration we had here in the city is when they tried to pin AIDS on the Haitian population.
That's right.
And the head of the demonstration was at Brooklyn Bridge, and the tail of the demonstration was still at the library at Grand Army Plaza. That was a demonstration.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
They shut the city down.
That's right.
For about, 2 weeks or so? Okay? Because, again, people came up with all kinds of things. BMW, anyway, all kind of names they had for them, for the Haitian folk and them. So I mean, you're on point when you're saying what you're saying, and I don't mean it. I really don't mean to laugh like I'm laughing at them, but it's that serious.
But it's that serious, and that's where it is. Take note of that. How do you manage that? As I said, is to educate. What's great is that you have here in New York, they have the Ebola site where you can go to nyc.gov. Diseases Ebola, where it will talk about what the Ebola is, talks about how it presents itself, and what you can do to protect yourself. But it's simply similar to the same, and I don't lessen it, but it's similar in a sense to the flu, where washing your hands, being conscious of universal precautions. Keep the universal precautions and be alert and aware. Ask questions so that you will know. People are talking about, oh my gosh, should we shut down travel to Africa? No, that does not make sense. Who were you shutting it down to? I was in Africa back in October 2013. If I had gone there 3 months later, or a few months later, just now, I would not be coming back. Or I would say I'm coming back because I'm an American.
Right.
Somebody looks at me, they're saying, well,
you just came back from.
You just came back. Or no, you're an American. I don't have to worry about Ebola with you. No. If you notice the amount of people that have come over, they're white Americans. So it's not something where I'm going to designate a certain people. You're going to be aware, become aware of what Ebola is, be conscious of the fact that, yes, it is a plane ride away. So if I'm a month someplace where I might be among people that have traveled to and from West Africa, then I'd be due diligence. Go on the website, find out, and know for yourself what are the basic things. But understand, it's not about, oh my gosh, get away from me. It is about how can we work. The key thing, because I keep saying over and over with the CDC, is that how do we manage this? Is by going back to ground zero and providing care there. It is why it has sprung up so much. Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, the poorest countries in the world. This was devastation to them.
Right, because they don't have the infrastructure.
That's it.
And
Exactly.
the wherewithal, if you will, to handle those kind of situations.
Exactly.
But now, give me now family. How am I preparing my family? How do I talk to my family? Whatever the disease might be. How do I, get them abreast with it?
Variety of different diseases. This is where we say come to our workshops. That's my little plug.
Yeah, go ahead, come to our workshops.
But come to our workshops.
When is the next one?
Our next one.
Well, there is one this month.
We have a website, yes?
Yes.
So the website?
livehealthyme.com. All one word.
And there's a calendar there?
Yes.
Yes, calendar events.
Yes.
Okay. So that's all.
And also, too, though, what we are encouraging folks to do, we find that there's clearly a lot of gatherings in churches and various organizations and companies. And so folks can feel free to email us and to find out. Our email is info@livehealthyme.com. And they can just go online, tell us what it is that they would like. What workshop would you like for us to come and present? We cover a plethora of issues. So what
I like that word, plethora. When I use that word, make me sound intelligent. I can say plethora.
I'm trying. No,
you Claire. I don't have no problem with you. I know how smart you are. What you sit on health initiative with the president of the United States?
Yeah, so
that's not bag of chips over here. No.
Okie dokie.
You can say plethora anytime you want.
Oh, thank you, John. So they can write into us and say, we would like for you to come, and then you just give us some basic information.
Tell them the address again, the phone, well, not the text.
The email address
the email and the thing like that.
info@livehealthyme.com.
Right. And the website is?
livehealthyme.com.
Okay. We have Facebook too?
No, we're coming though.
We're coming to that.
We're coming.
Right.
We're getting there.
Okay. Okay. Listen, this is moving rather nicely. And you are watching Caribbean Classroom. Tonight we're speaking Live Healthy Me. We're talking to Dr. Carol McIntosh. You know. Who, by the way, when was the last time, what happened to the Carriacou Health Center?
It is still in place. It's the Carriacou Health Services. It's still in place in Carriacou. I'm not working at there right now.
But you still go down from time to time?
But I still go down. I was just in Grenada and Carriacou in August, end of August. Saw patients in Grenada. And it was really nice. Beautiful. When you talk about imagery and adornment and empowerment, whee!
And she had the nerve to send her friends pictures as she was moving along the water.
Right. This was Grand Anse. It wasn't true Carriacou Beach, but it was Grand Anse.
Well, Grand Anse is the best beach in the world.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Carriacou. Let's not go. Let's not go there.
No.
Carriacou, what?
What? On a 2 o'clock in the morning on Grand Anse Beach? Hello. Trust me. I've been down in what do you call that club again on the beach in Carriacou? the right down by on the thing. Okay. All right. Okay.
But yes, I've been back and forth providing care in Grenada. Yes.
How well are you? And I'm putting words in your mouth now. How well are you accepted when you go home and do those kinds of health related?
Very well accepted. It's very. It treats me as well as treating the patient. It's something where you feel right at home. People come in and they just lay out whatever it is that they want to talk with you about.
And they have no problems.
They have no problem whatsoever.
Let's say there's no filter.
None.
Okay. Last night, you know what my husband do?
Yes.
Yes. No, that's how he is.
True.
That's how we is.
But that's good, though. That's good. That's good.
Now, speak about your trip. I know both of you have been to Africa several times. Speak about your trips to Africa.
Huh.
And wait, before you go, I want you to speak specifically of the 500 pap smear that you did in
Sierra Leone.
Well, let her go first.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
you go on safari and fly plane and
marathon.
And marathon.
Was she healthy? You know.
Yeah, I know. Running in Africa. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, race walking, but okay. Yes, so the most recent trip that we took together with several of our friends was to Kenya. And we went to Aberdare, we went to Lewa, we went to Masai Mara, and we had an absolutely wonderful time. One of the things about taking trips like that is there's so much of nature around you, just absolutely so much of nature around you. And on one particular morning, several of us went out, we went walking. It's called bushwalking, and we're out in the wild.
Bushwalking.
All right, this one.
Yes.
And so
I'm from Trinidad, we never go bushwalking. Go ahead.
Okay. So we went bushwalking, and you know the giraffes are there, the zebras, the antelopes, everybody's around.
Just there. Just there.
But one of the wonderful things that struck me in particular, I know you're laughing at me, one of the things that struck me in particular about it was the quiet,
peaceful,
the godly peacefulness of nature. We were the ones making noise at that hour of the morning.
Yes.
The other animals were there and they were perfectly fine and interacting with each other. But then when we finally got quiet and were able to appreciate God's nature, it was absolutely
But there's music in the
awesome.
quietness.
Yes.
There is music in the quietness.
Yes.
And let a little rain start to fall.
Oh. Yes.
Where the rain come dropping down. Pitter, patter, pitter,
oh dear.
patter.
Well,
coming down on my roof.
Go ahead.
Coming down. Me and my baby holding tight, doing all right. I hope it never stops. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Very good. What?
Nice.
Excellent.
Come on.
Yes.
Is that,
You are awesome.
well, thank you. That comes with the thing. That comes with the thing. But no, is that where? All right, okay.
Encore.
Encore. No, don't let me force me to cough. Is that where the inspiration came from to create this Living Healthy Me? Going to those kinds of places?
Well, that was part of it. And certainly the imagery component and the adornment component came from that, because I feel that we were as close to godliness as we could possibly be.
On Earth.
And particularly on that day. When we went hot air ballooning, again, being able to just see.
Hot air ballooning.
Like up in a
balloon.
in a bucket.
In a
The bucket
yes.
with the fire going
And a
up,
fire
making
going
the
under-
smoke go up,
underneath
and
your
then it
foot.
makes it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's,
Okay, that's very nice. You do bungee jumping too?
No, we didn't do bungee jumping.
Okay then.
Not on that.
I never understand that one though. The bungee jumping part. And the fire under your foot part. I never understand that.
But it's not exactly under your foot.
Hello.
It really isn't. I mean, it's set up in such a way that the basket has 3 components, and so people are on the right side, people are on the left side, and in the middle is where that whole fire thing is taking place.
I have on a robe, I have on a jacket, I have on something freely, and I make a move and I flare. Boom!
Well, if you're the pilot, that could be a problem.
Right. But you're sitting.
But we're not there.
And you're looking over
Yes.
as it goes up.
Yeah, you can sit or stand.
You're
yeah.
watching.
So that's part.
I'm safe on ground.
You're absolutely right. That was part of what helped to foster this and for us to realize how important it is, imagery is, how important being able to adorn yourself the way you wish, how important it is to empower yourself. It all came from that. Yeah.
So you know, Miss Doctor Carol,
Yes.
you went to like
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Say it right, Sierra Leone. And you know, when I look at the name Sierra Leone, there are certain Italian people with the name Leone as their last name. So I wonder if Africa is where they really came from and they end up in Italy.
Africa is the birthplace.
That's right, that's what I'm saying. But
Of all.
the name, you know what I'm saying? Anyhow, go ahead, as you're saying. No, I make all those connections, trust
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
True. No,
Yes,
it's
yes.
true. And it
They
is
was trying
something.
they was trying to pretend that they don't have any African touch, you see.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
gosh! But there is something, and Sister Yvonne was right on point when you talk about in Kenya, because that's where you really feel, if you did not believe in God or a higher being, once you walk through there and you're walking with the animals and you're watching them, you can't not. So Sierra Leone is now taking it on another point. And I became involved with that because of my work in Virginia. And the chairperson of OBGYN, Dr. Maxwell, brought me to a breakfast where people from Sierra Leone had come in to talk about their work there, their mission trips. And it's with the United Methodist Church helping children worldwide. And I listened to it, and they were talking about disparities, and that was the one thing that touched me. Because the doctor that was talking said, here in the United States, we talk about health disparities. In New York, you have 240 doctors for 100,000 patients. And the disparity is because in the Midwest, you have 140 doctors for 100,000. That's the disparity. In Sierra Leone, you have one doctor for 100,000 people.
One doctor?
One doctor for 100,000. He says, so how can you talk about disparity? There's two different things.
In real context.
Exactly,
context,
and that touched me there. So I wasn't planning on going, but when I was talking with them, I said, well, I'm not going.
The world traveler that you are.
It was more that they talked about going and said, you know, they're going to see patients, et cetera. And I said, that's fine. When you bring back the pap smears, I can look at the results and help. They said, no. There's no cancer screening in Sierra Leone. They had one mammogram. Now, this was in 2012. They had one mammogram that was there for 2 years, and it's broken down. So something in my ear just said, the mammogram machine. Okay, I'm going to go. And that was a month before going to Kenya, and I don't know. That truly was God's work, because there was no way of knowing I'm going to Sierra Leone and then going to Kenya. But I went to Sierra Leone that first time, and we did pap smears. And women came out. And it was to do the pap smears and the screening, and not only to do it to bring back here, but to see and treat while there. We also did breast cancer screening, doing ultrasounds. That first trip, we diagnosed 5 people with breast cancer, stage 3 to stage 4.
Wow.
We also had
stage 3, stage 4, that means that is high.
It means that the person came in with the matted breast, where the cancer has overtaken the breast and that has been metastatic or has traveled to other places.
Parts of the body.
And people were saying, well, why did they come out before? It's like, well, where were they coming to?
And who were they going to see?
And who were they going to see?
Exactly.
Right. So we helped in the sense of removing part of it to get the diagnosis, and then helping women. One woman, 28, died before we were even able to get the diagnosis back to her.
Wow, that's far gone.
That's how far gone. And we also did pap smears. We returned again where I did a larger number of pap smears. That's
like 75 in one day?
Oh no, oh my gosh. We did about 500 plus.
In one day?
In 4 days.
In 4 days?
Yes.
500 pap
plus.
smears.
And then we also did where we looked at the cervix, because we only stopped because we ran out of the pap smear specimens, not because we ran out of women.
No, for those of us who are not medically inclined, explain when you do a pap smear, what you're really doing.
You basically, for women who have gone to the GYN doctor, you're placing a speculum, which is a type of a clamp, into the vagina, opening it up to look at the cervix, which is the mouth of the uterus where the baby comes out, and you're taking cells from that. And hopefully, if you're taking cells, you'll be able to diagnose pre-cancerous lesions, be able to note what would be develop into cancer. You develop that now, or diagnose that now, and treat it. So pap smear is a screening test to help to prevent the development of cervical cancer. So we did that, as well as doing where we looked 500. I worked with a team, myself and 2 nurses. We
500
saw a lot of services.
But you were the only doctor there.
I was the only physician during that trip.
500 in how much days?
In 4 days.
In 4 days. So on average, that's what, about 125 a day.
Yes.
Rough
yes.
math. I mean, I'm not good at no numbers.
Right, you're moving. I mean, we start out like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and you go until you finish. Because the women are coming 4 and 5 miles, and they're walking. They start out from the break of dawn to come to see, and they will stay and sit until they're seen. So if a woman is able to walk and come and sit in the hot sun with the mosquitoes and with all the different things, and adorned beautifully because she's coming
to
out
see the doctor.
To see the doctor.
Like how we how we grow up and how we were raised.
Exactly.
You go into the doctor, you dress up, you bathe,
right.
you wash, you clean yourself because you're going to the doctor.
Because you're going to the doctor. If she can come and do that, then I can stay and do as many pap smears. I can see as many women as they come out.
Why you do these things, Dr. McIntosh?
Because I don't know how to do anything else.
You've been to Trinidad, you've been to Grenada, you opened a health center in Carriacou. You know, what they call it again? They call it the little hospital. I understand what they call it in Carriacou. You're in Virginia now. You used to be in Harlem. and you're just helping people. Why? What is the motivation for you going out and doing this thing, helping people, helping humanity?
It does bring me a sense. It's what God gave me to do, because when you talk about like our passion, you want to learn your passion, you want to do your passion, and I'm very thankful that what my passion is what I do. There's something about even deliveries. It's amazing what a delivery of watching the birth of a baby.
Yeah.
There's something about the beauty of the female body or even the human body in general. And I love surgery as well.
Yeah,
so.
I know, you like playing with stuff.
Yes.
But no, I think if I could propose to the government to make it mandatory that every father be in the delivery room when the child is born.
Wow.
I wish I would do, because when my daughter was born, I missed my son's birth because my father, I was burying my father. So that's the only thing I think. But my daughter, I was right there. I almost choked the, I tell this story a lot, I almost choked the nurse. Because when she put the this whatever the thing to suction thing to pull out the mucus, I didn't know. So I said, so she looked at me. She said, you want your child to die? You want your child to suffocate? What's wrong with you?
Relax yourself.
Relax yourself. I had to wrap up the segment, but I have another segment I want to do, and I want us to come back towards the end and do a little wrap up.
But this is done really to say thank you. And the trip, and I think I speak for myself and Minister Cheney, yes, we went to give, but we got more than what we gave. A whole lot more. And you know, I'm not going to cry, but it was, okay. It was unbelievable. And we really wanted to say thank you to the House of the Lord churches, because you gave us enough money to do the 350 pap smears and more. And yes, applause. And not only did you it wasn't only the money, there's so much more that you gave us. And really, House of the Lord Church, I can't say enough thank you to Reverend Daughtry and to Sister Daughtry for, you gave me, we had the faith, but you gave me the strength and the push of understanding of going through there, because there was a whole lot going on, a whole lot more than just taking care of women and children. And hopefully we can bring that in the short slideshow that we're going to do. And we're doing it as a tag team between myself and Minister Cheney, because true, we were the only people of color on the trip. And the team, and it was made constant recognition in Sierra Leone, because they called us out. They're like, the 2 African Americans in the team, please stand up. This is in church. He said, we know that everybody's here. I think he did say there's white people here, but we want to recognize our people. This is the minister in the Methodist Church on Sunday said, we want to recognize our sisters that came. So it was so moving to be a part of that. But I want to say thank you again, because your contributions did a whole lot for this trip as we go through.
What I want to do is, I want to go to a next segment that we have. You heard about it at the beginning of the program, and I want us to go directly to it now, which is this reggae cultural salute. And in the studio with me, and I know we're shifting gears, I mean, that's way from where we were talking about before, but Sharon Gordon is here, and she is the CEO and some other title that I don't know what about, that she's and her husband and some people create CPR. They want to save reggae and reggae music and the whole demise of reggae music. So Sharon has taken on the mantle to decide to fix reggae. And so this is the 10th year that they're doing this event. She was here last year. Now it becomes an annual thing for her to be here on the program once a year. You know, stealing the thunder, you know, we're talking health, and she decided she wanted to talk about reggae music. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Gordon is here. Sharon, good evening and welcome to Caribbean Classroom.
Greetings, John Crow, and thanks for having me.
And you had to wear black.
Of course.
So Sharon, okay, quickly, tell me about this reggae culture salute.
Well, first of all, I just want to tell you that this program tonight is one of the most important programs I've seen on Caribbean Classroom in years.
I'll take a vote.
Years.
Thank you.
Information is important, really. And as CPR, my organization, the acronym is CPR,
I'm really about, you know,
Health.
breathing new
The
life
health
and
of
health.
reggae.
It is, and that's exactly what happened 10
Yes.
years ago. We took a pulse,
Yes.
and that's how Reggae Culture Salute started. A little bit of trivia, it was Reggae Culture Salute that gave birth to the Coalition to Preserve Reggae. It's not the other way around.
Okay,
We
all right.
did the event and then recognized that there was a need, and then the organization came about.
But okay, the date is November 1st.
November 1st, and this year we have your good friend, Marcia Griffiths.
We Sagittarians together.
I know.
You know?
I know these things.
Oh.
Gosh. 50 years she's been doing reggae music. 50 years.
And for those of you who don't know who Marcia Griffith is,
tell them. The electric slide. Oh, he was going to sing. Oh.
The electric slide.
The electric slide.
We want you to do the electric slide. 2, 3.
Oh my God, we're in trouble. John Crow. We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Okay.
Okay, so that's who she is. Excellent.
Yes,
Right.
right.
So that's who we're honoring. 50 years of Marcia Griffiths doing what she's been doing.
Ageless. That woman, no?
Ageless. She doesn't
that's
age.
really, she defines this thing I was talking about, black don't crack. That is what?
But it's living healthy me. Because that's what she's about. Marcia, you know, that's what she is about.
And then she's in the mountains.
And always taking good care of herself. And that is key when you juxtapose that to so many other reggae artists who we know. We just lost Hopton Lewis, for example, to diabetes and a bunch of other complications. And others like that. Alton Ellis, I can keep going. So to see Marcia 50 years in, and for you and others to say, my word, look at her.
Adam Young girl and them spinning.
They can't keep up. And so on November 1st, we're honoring her with CPR's Pinnacle Award for Excellence, our highest award for that 50 years. And
look at that woman. Look at that woman.
She is, she is fantastic.
Nice.
She's fantastic. 50 years. She's not 50 years old.
No.
She's been in the industry, not 10, not 50 years of working.
Working, and she works all the time.
And she works all the time. And to look like that, okay, that speaks volume.
Yes.
How many children she has?
You can't ask me information like that, John Crow, just like
Well, I mean,
that. I don't know what is public information and what is not.
Right, okay.
How are you going to do that to me?
Well, okay, you know,
I have one son, Omar. We know that. I can speak for me. And so we will... So those don't know, I have a very long and illustrious relationship with John Crow. All right, Everton Blender is returning. He was here in 2009. He's going to be here, but very important that I want to get this out. This year, we have stepped up the game again. At CPR, we say membership has its privileges. And so we have artists who are members. And this year, this is going to be the 4th year that we're doing this, and it will become the norm. Our Artists Caucus gets a chance to showcase. So we have local artists, some who are not so local, because CPR is a global movement.
So
CPR is not.
I could come and perform?
You have to be a member of CPR. That's the prerequisite.
I'm a member.
You're an associate member. You're an associate member. You're right. You're right. Associate member.
You walk in this room.
Associate member, and as an associate member, you're above performing. You do other work like what you're doing here now. See, because if you take the stage, other people are in trouble, and we can't afford that. They don't know your history, John Crow, like I do. You would outshine everyone. So we have CPR is a reggae lovers.
Behind your
reggae lovers organization. And so we have folks coming in like Tasha T, who is a member from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, we have a picture.
Yeah, she's coming in. We have The Real Storm, who's coming up from Maryland.
Okay.
We have Don Minot coming in from Connecticut. He's repeating because last year he tore up the place. The people wanted him back.
Okay.
Simone Gordon, who is my sister, full disclosure, who used to sing back up with Stephen Marley and so many others, will be performing.
Oh, Simone Gordon. Oh, no. When you have Simone, me as
no, not that, no. Simone G. Gordon, not, right.
Okay, all right.
Right,
okay,
go, right, that vowel, G-O.
Okay, all right.
And then we also have Gary Pine, who sang lead for the Wailers for many years. Gary is going to be there. We have Turbanix, a young artist doing good work. And then our poet laureate, Rasta Sajafu, will be there. So that is key. We want folks to see that When you become a member of CPR,
tell them where it is because the time we don't.
Nazareth Regional High School. We remain at Nazareth. We want to thank the folks at Nazareth.
You get Nazareth School and they don't have any?
Can you not do that and let everybody know my business,
but,
John?
But they don't let nobody else use the place.
Because we are CPR and we do a family event. Let me tell you why we're inside of Nazareth. Because we do a family event where not only our elders but our children can come, babies. I posted on my Facebook page, the event page, and a woman wrote, she says, this is the only event I feel safe enough to bring my grandchildren each year. 10 years we're celebrating.
Tell them the phone number how they're going to get you.
718-421-6927, 718-421-6927, or visit us at cprreggae.org. cprreggae.org. We're a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, and we love the work that we do, and we'd love to have you as a member. Oh, we open doors at 7, we start at 8, and we're done by 1. Very early show, John.
I don't know why they let you in.
Children are free. You know that.
Really?
We always have the children free. We want the children to come to our event.
Okay, then.
And it's a marketplace of activities and love.
When is the last time you went to the doctor?
I just went to the doctor 3 weeks ago when I got back from London. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah,
when I came back from
London.
Right. Because I took a flight.
I think you went to London and get married.
Wait, no. It's very important what she said. I picked up a virus on the flight, and I felt it because I try to keep myself healthy. I felt myself getting hot and cold, had to get extra blankets. I knew immediately I'd picked up something, and there were some children around me that were coughing, and adults too, and sneezing. So I knew, and I isolated myself when I got home. I told everybody, don't come near me. And I immediately did the chicken soup, you know, what we do. I did my juices, old stuff, a lot of garlic, a lot of green juices, a lot of juices, did everything. I was better in 3 days.
Rub down?
You have to rub down. Very important that you rub down.
I'm my hands, I got healing hands. Bring me on, I'm good at the rub down part. I'm real good at the rub down. Now, for real, I tell you, ask my wife. When she come in later, ask her.
I will have to speak to Debbie.
My mother, listen to me, my mother twisted her ankle one time, right? My aunt and them thinking, I said, come ma. And I took her ankle and I said,
A 19. Nice. We're going to start calling you Reverend Doctor.
I don't know where it come from and how it come to me. But
well, it's the ancestors. It's in your family line.
Yes, you know that's what it is.
Me that.
Right. Yeah.
Me. Watch you. Whoa.
John Crow, you're the best.
Listen though, okay, we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
Tell them how to get in touch with Living the Healthy Me again, please.
Live Healthy Me.
Oh, Live Healthy Me. All right.
You can contact us through info@livehealthyme.com. That's our email. Or go on our website, livehealthyme.com. Or you can come and meet myself and Yvonne in person on November 9th from 2 to 5 p.m. That's when we do the launching of the imagery and adornment portion of Live Healthy Me. That will be at 503 Atlantic Avenue, between Nevins and 3rd Avenue, at OMHH.
What is OMHH?
Oh My Heavenly Hair. Deborah Hair Base Salon.
OMHH.
Oh My Heavenly Hair.
That's our hair place?
Yes. She's been in business over 25 years.
Oh, and so that's why we're going to be doing this?
That's where we're going to do our
lunch?
Yes. She's a master braider.
So then, wait a second. Life is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So deciding to do the lead piece that I did, Michael and Gail did in the beauty shop.
You see that?
Wonderful.
You see how it comes back to circle?
Give us one. Yes, give us one.
Thank you. The right adjective.
Serendipity.
Yes. You see how it comes around?
So we're Jamaican smart, so is
we're very smart.
And you could use big one too.
We like to help out our Grenadian brothers and sisters.
That's what
we do it all the time.
Help us out as
we try to help.
And we help them out too, All right then.
Well, the motto of CPR is working together to make things work. So that's what we do.
They teach the Grenada Revolution in Jamaica, but not in Grenada.
You see that though?
All right now. Did you know that? The revolution that took place in Grenada is taught in the Jamaican schools.
But not in Grenada.
But not in Grenada.
That don't make any sense.
Because, that's how we stay.
We don't want to empower the children.
That's how we...
That's how we roll.
That's how we
roll. But I mean, it's a real pleasure. Do I have time to this? I have more time? All right. It's a real pleasure having you here. Is there anything that I left out that any one of you want to add to the mix?
Something that you said in the last time that I was here, and that was around Globathon. And so in Globathon, you mentioned, are you going to be having any events in New York? And you kept asking the question. And of course, the natural answer was to have people empower them to do it themselves.
Right.
But we've taken that on based on what you have said. And so thank you for that input. And we want to be able to have a really strong presence in the Brooklyn area come 2015 for Globathon?
September.
So
Yes, September. There's a plan afoot. There's a plan afoot.
Major plan of push. Because remember, Globathon is the entire world raising awareness for women, survivors of cancer, family members, health professionals. This year we have 84 countries.
Give the viewers a quick shot on Globathon.
As I said, Globathon, this was the second year that it happened. Its inaugural year was last year. It was September 29th, where we had over 70+ countries walk. This year we had the whole month of September where it went across the diaspora, north and south, the Northern American continent, the Southern American continent, Africa, Asia, etc., Europe, Middle East. All through the month of September, people walked in to raise awareness, a variety of different events, not just walking. They had Zumba, etc. Here in the United States,
of cancers
below the belt. Women's cancers below the belt. We talk a lot about breast cancer, but we don't talk about cervical cancer, uterine cancer, fallopian tube cancer, but vaginal cancer, vulvar cancer. And these are things that are killing us, especially women of color in the Caribbean and the African continent.
Specifically cervical cancer.
Wow. So this is where raising awareness. And we did it in D.C., but because of the talk that you had, Ms. Yvonne and Ms. Jennifer, it was why not more, was to get the diaspora, the Caribbean specifically, the Caribbean diaspora, through your push towards being involved in 2015
So we thank
in
you
New
for
York.
that.
Big up John
Thank
Crow.
you for that.
Big up.
Big ups to John Crow.
Ooh, push, persist, pray, and praise until something happens.
Yes.
Exactly.
All you can change is yourself, but sometimes that changes everything.
Yes.
This show was made possible by an exceptional crew, including Anthony K., Alexandra Jean Joseph, Michael Smith, Gail Lewis, Wanda G., Joe Valva, Claude is not here, Calandra. Calandra is here, right? What's his name again? Not Anthony. Ali. Mark, Ali. How Mark have a name as Mark Anthony? He's an Indian, you know, Mark Anthony Ali.
Lovely name.
Anyhow.
It's a beautiful name.
Beautiful name. I know, but he's Indian. How you gonna have Mark Anthony?
He's entitled.
He's entitled. Okay.
Yes.
His parents, his mother.
On Caribbean Classroom, you never know what
Somebody
you
with
can
the
find.
name John Crow should never criticize anyone and their name.
Well,
can I wrap the show, please? On Caribbean Classroom, you never know what you can find. We appreciate those of you who watch us, those of you who like us on Facebook, all right, and those of you who viewed us online tonight, we do appreciate you, and those of you who are watching at home, thank you so very much. Keep watching Caribbean Classroom, keep inspiring, keep encouraging, push, praise, pray, change something, everything else going to fall in place. Thank you, good night, peace and love, everybody.
Good night, thank you.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
We